right, this is page 157, the second section that we're going to be looking at today. I'm going to be talking about complex sentences. Okay, a complex sentence is going to contain one independent clause, okay, so one that could stand alone, and then one or more subordinate or dependent clause. Okay, and so the dependent clause then couldn't be a sentence by itself. It would be a fragment if you tried to do that. So if we look at this example here, it says, if you need help, just ask me. Okay, so my verbs here are ask and need. Here my subject is you, and then it's understood you here for this independent one. But I do have a complex sentence here because of the combo of one independent and then one dependent. Same thing here, I like and then you chose are my subjects and verbs. And then this is my subordinate or dependent clause that can't be by itself. This is my independent clause. Now if you look at both of these, they start with a clue word that indicates that this is a dependent or subordinate clause. I've listed up here at the top of the page the clue words that this page uses. This is not all the clue words for dependent clauses, but it's some of the ones that we see a lot. Okay, so the ones that are on this page are if, that, whatever, because, and while. So I've listed them up here for you so to kind of give you a clue about what some of those clauses are. Now, we did identify simple and compound sentences in the last paper. Simple, of course, remember, was one independent clause. Compound was two independent clauses. And then the complex that we're working with on this page that's new is one independent plus one dependent. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through here. A problem will seem worse if you think about it constantly. So we're going to underline your verbs again, will seem and think. What is my subject of will seem? Right? Problem. And if you think about it constantly, my subject is you. Now, do I have any clue words from the top of the page here? Do I have if, that, whatever, because, or while at all? Yeah, hopefully you saw the clue word here. And if you look at it, if you think about it constantly, can't stand by itself. Okay? So this is going to be a dependent or subordinate clause. Okay? And then we have a problem will seem worse. That could be independent, so I'm going to label it I. So this sentence has one independent and one subordinate. Excuse me. So this one is complex, so we're going to label it CX. All right, let's look at number 2. Try to limit your worrying to a short period each day. Okay? Try is my verb here, and this has the understood you as the subject, right? So we're going to write it out here. It's there, okay? To limit is an infinitive, but it's not a true verb. So I only have one subject and one verb. So that should lead you to say that this is an independent clause and this sentence is going to be simple. Okay? All right, the problem that you've been worrying about may not seem so overwhelming then. Okay? This one, we should see that we have two verbs, have been worrying and may seem. Okay? So who has been worrying? You. And what may not seem? Problem. Okay? Now, do I have any of the clue words? If, that, whatever, because, while? Right there. So this one here, the subordinate clause is inside the other clause. That makes it harder to find sometimes, but it's very common. This is an adjective subordinate clause, so it's modifying problem there. But this is my independent clause. The problem may not seem so overwhelming then. So I have one of each. The sentence is going to be complex. Okay? You may experience a sense of relief and your energy level may rise. So experience and may rise. Who may experience? You. And what may rise? Level. Okay? And then if you notice, I have between the two of them here a conjunction and a comma. So I've got an independent clause here, independent clause here. This is a compound sentence. Okay? Now, you should have will continue and is. Now, what will continue? Mind. And what is available? Information. Okay? And you should notice that I do have a clue word. Whatever. So here's my subordinate clause, and here's my independent clause. So this sentence is going to be complex. All right, we have keeps working, and what keeps working? Mind. Okay? I don't have any of these clue words. I don't have any conjunctions. This one's just an independent clause, so it's going to be simple. Okay? Should have continues here, sleep, and may wake. Now here, what continues? Brain. Who sleeps? You. Who wakes? You. Oh my. So, do we have any clue words? You have because, and you have while. So here we've got a subordinate, and a subordinate, and an independent. So this one is the complex. Okay. Understand is my verb here. Keep. Who understand? Artists and writers. Who keeps? They. Comma conjunction between the two. So this one's going to be compound. All right. Write. Wake. Who wakes? They. Who writes? They. We have the if here, which is on my list. This one is subordinate. This one's independent. Complex. Otherwise, bright ideas from the subconscious fade and are often forgotten. So we have fade and are forgotten. What ideas? So notice that I have the conjunction and here, but it doesn't have a comma. I don't have a subject on this side. This one's just, again, one independent clause, so it is simple. All right, on section B here, we're going to combine these sentences to create a complex sentence. We're going to take two simple sentences, and hopefully you've reached the point in your writing where you're doing this. You're taking some sentences and making them longer. Okay, so we're going to take these two pairs and combine them to form a complex sentence, and we need to use commas sometimes. Okay, President Roosevelt used leg braces. His legs were paralyzed. Okay, you could do this a couple of different ways, but I think I would go ahead and put President Franklin Roosevelt used leg braces, and they never give you enough room, because because his legs were paralyzed. Okay, so notice I used the because here, because his legs were paralyzed. Okay, and I created a complex sentence. Okay. Okay, I would suggest, I'm going to let you do this, okay? I would suggest that for this one. And you might have to put it like the disease that. Okay, try it there, okay? You might try one like although for this one. Okay, and you don't have to use these. If you have another one that you think sounds good, combine it. But I would suggest maybe although. And I think this one, they have that in there. You could say, you might even just move the that. That Roosevelt was a very courageous man is the point. That might be how you do that one. Okay, so I might stick with the that. If you want to combine it with a different one, that's fine. There's a variety of ways that we can correct these. Okay, just combine them to one sentence with a complex clause, and let me know if you have questions. Okay.